Hi everyone, it's Shotzi for the Rough Cuts on Sunday. I hope you all have had a great week. Today I'm going to talk about a spy thriller from 1975. It is 3 Days of the Condor, and it's directed by the amazing Sidney Pollack and stars Robert Redford, Faye Dunaway, Cliff Robertson, and Max von Sydow. This movie inspired a whole lot of other movies, like most notably Born Identity. If you've seen both movies, you'll see a lot of parallels in that. And it's a really, really great spy espionage thriller. It's very well written, very plot driven, and some people might say that there are a lot of plot holes, but not really. It's based on the novel by James Grady, which was 6 Days of the Condor. I highly recommend it. And it's a pretty good rendition. What happens is that you have Robert Redford's character, Joe Turner, who is a reader for, I think it's called the American Literacy Historical Society or something like that. But what they do, it's a group of, in his case, 8 people that read all of the books that are published. They're stationed throughout the country, and they read everything that's published. And then they cross reference it with ideas, everything that could possibly use as a plot by the CIA or other intelligence agencies, and they send it into the CIA, and then they say, yes, this has been done, no, it hasn't, things like that. One day, Robert Redford's character comes across a particular book, and he finds that the language in which it's been translated are really just odd groupings of languages, such as, I guess, translated into Spanish, but not French, Dutch, but not German, things like that. So it's just a very odd grouping of languages. And so he sends it into their headquarters, and they say, like, it means nothing. And he goes to lunch one day to get lunch for everybody. He comes back, and everyone that was there at work today, at that day, was executed. And then he's just like, what on earth has happened? And so there, of course, this is the mid 70s. There are no cell phones. He goes in to find a public phone. He calls headquarters, which is CIA, and they are kind of confused as to what's going on. They send people out to determine if it's been hit. They tell him to stay away from his house. And so he goes to look for the other guy who was not at work that day. He finds him murdered, and then he's just kind of like, oh crap, what's going on? And he asks to be brought in by the CIA. They set up a meeting for him, and he goes, but it's a setup. They try to kill him. And so now he's trying to figure out what is going on, who's behind all of this, and we're taken on this just crazy ride from there. Now, a lot of people would think, how does he know to do all of these things? And the CIA is wondering, is he a rogue agent? Is he working for somebody else? What do they know about him? And everyone is just kind of second guessing each other. The CIA is wondering about him. He's wondering about the CIA. Maybe there's even a CIA within the CIA that they don't even know about. And meanwhile, you have this other mysterious man who's played by Max von Sydow, and he is just a sort of very cool, collected, very, very established assassin. And so you don't know who he's working for exactly, because you see members of the CIA with him, yet other people believe he's dead. So it's a very, very interesting dynamic that's going on. So Robert Redford's character doesn't know who he can trust. So he finds a random woman, who's played by Faye Dunaway, to try to assist him. And so pretty much she's the only person that he can trust with any of this information, because of course these are the days before the internet. He can't look up stuff online, and he sees how far the government has reached. because he's just like, wow, they know his every move. And so it becomes kind of a game of cat and mouse. And so they're trying to kill him. Meanwhile, he's toying with them from all these tricks that he's learned from reading everything. Everything from comics to cookbooks, everything. So it's a really, really good plot line, even though people are like, why, would you publish your ideas in a book where everyone can see it? But it's the whole notion of hiding things in plain sight. It was an obscure book, and so that kind of covers that. But it's really, really well written. James Grady wrote this when he was only 24 years old, which is phenomenal. And because it's a great story. And watching this, you'll see a lot of parallels between 3 Days of the Condor and other spy thrillers at the time. Also, like, what the whole thing is about, it still holds true very much so for today. So it's kind of interesting. Definitely check out this movie. It's available on Instant Watch right now on Netflix. And the relationship between Robert Redford and Sidney Pollack is great. You can tell they really work well together as actor-director, because they work together in, like, Jeremiah Johnson, Electric Horseman, Out of Africa, This Property is Condemned, a number of films. And it's a really, really great pairing. And the cast of this is amazing. Faye Dunaway, Cliff Robertson, Robert Redford, Sidney Pollack, they've all won Academy Awards in their craft. And, Max von Sydow is awesome in everything. And also his final monologue is just amazing. It's been parodied and time again. But it's a really, really great story. I highly recommend it. And I will see you all next week. Until then, goodbye.